Welcome to Rimscape. I am Joshua J. Correro, and in this video we're going to talk about can you vlog using just an iPhone. Typically, when I'm going on a trip or I'm going on any kind of family destination, I bring something like a Canon R5, a Canon R5C. If I really want to get some nice footage, I'll bring something like one of my Red cameras. But recently, my wife and I took a trip to Kauai, Hawaii, and we were really trying to consolidate what we were going to be bringing. And so I found myself curious, could I bring just my iPhone 15 Pro Max and still be happy with the footage that I captured? Now, there were two minor exceptions to accessories we brought. The first of all was the Switch Pod, kind of the Gorilla Pod alternative. We use this as sort of a pseudo tripod slash selfie stick. And the second thing is we did bring an SD card reader, SD to USB-C, in order to record up to 60 FPS on the iPhone 15 in Apple Log. We did film everything in Apple Log, so this did result in enormous file sizes, and it is a bummer that you can't use Apple Log in cinema mode. We did get a handful of cinema mode shots on the iPhone, but the majority of the footage you're about to see was shot in Apple Log on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. One thing to make special note of is that I am actually filming everything in the native camera app on the iPhone. I'm not using any other third-party apps like the Blackmagic or Filmic Pro. I wanted to see what you could pull off with using just the native camera app. Now, the first thing I noticed, even filming right away in the airport, was just how convenient it was to film with something that's such a small form factor. I didn't have my heavy backpack stuffed with lenses and different accessories. Having everything I needed pretty much right there in the palm of my hands was so convenient and just made me enjoy the moment more. And I found out it also enabled me just to think a little more creatively. As soon as we checked our bags in, I was like, oh, let's try this and let's try this. Oh, let's put the Switch Pod on the escalator steps as it goes up and get this cool shot pointing up while we're riding the escalator. I found myself just thinking a lot more about the shots I wanted to get rather than how I was going to get them. And while I know you could say this about a lot of modern mirrorless cameras, it is incredibly convenient to have in this little device in the palm of your hand. You have a number of different focal lengths. You can shoot in log right now. You have time lapse available. You have high resolutions available. You can shoot up to 60 FPS. There is so much you can do on the fly in the moment within just seconds of switching between modes, all on this single device. You can't really say that about anything else other than something like a smartphone. Now, we're going to shift gears here a little bit in this video. So we actually did go out and deliberately make a vlog. So I think for you to really get the impression of how that process went, I want you to be able to watch the vlog that we made. So now I'm going to stop giving commentary and you're going to get to watch what my wife and I shot while we were in Kauai, Hawaii. If you want to skip over that part and just hear more of kind of the commentary and my thoughts on filming with the iPhone, you can skip to whatever the number says at the bottom of the screen right now. Otherwise, enjoy. All right, heading to our first flight from Fresno to Vegas. This is actually the longest we've been away from Judah since our honeymoon. A 1-week stay in
Kauai, Hawaii.
Kept telling her to make plans to get some breakfast. She's like, don't worry about it. We'll just eat when we get in Vegas, which is not going to be until like a few hours.
We're on the escalator in Las Vegas. We're going to be on this escalator for the next 4 hours. Just kidding. But we will be here in Las Vegas until our flight takes off, which has now been delayed. So which means we'll be in Hawaii probably like tomorrow. We'll see.
The airport was really crowded and busy, so we decided to get on the tram because there's no one in here.
We have 4 hours to kill, so. So we're here at Poipu We're at a beach this morning to see the sunrise, but also because we keep hearing that there are tons of sea turtles that come out at sunrise. We're not seeing any sea turtles yet, but at least we get to see the sunrise. Toast, and I was surprised to see it's purple on the inside.
But how's it taste?
Let me take another bite and assess that.
There's the wildlife of Hawaii. There's chickens everywhere. What do you think about that, Josh?
It's better than a tiger or snake. What did we just see?
The spouting blowhorn in Kauai.
The spouting blowhorn. A little underwhelming, but that's all right. Now with that blowhorn, that was the first time I tried to record 60 FPS in 4K in ProRes. Now you cannot do that internally on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. You have to do it on external media. So in this case, I used SD cards and just used the SD card reader to USB-C, plugging directly into it. It actually is the smallest form factor way of being able to record to an external media, in my opinion. We tried some different hard drives before we left, and the phone either wouldn't read them or there was dropped frames. There was lots of issues with that. This seemed to be the best method. We'll see how the footage actually looks. What'd you say, Sarah? How far is the camera taking? 15 inches, wow. That's great. 18 inches. She's very precise. All right, so about 18 inches from me, there's a moderate breeze growing on, and there is the sound of the waves lapping on the shore. So I'm curious how well you can hear me. We'll see how good it sounds in post. So, and how clearly you can hear me over all the other sounds around us, like the wind and like the ocean. We'll see how good it sounds in post. So, and how clearly you can hear me over all the other sounds around us, like the wind and like the ocean. All right, it's official. We both are donning matching Hawaiian outfits. Are these really Hawaiian outfits or just, I don't know, whatever?
I think they're Hawaiian outfits.
Okay,
Why would
Hawaiian
they not
outfits,
be?
so. All right, we're gonna bring the iPhone in there and get some shots with it and see how it looks. The one thing that I'm really disappointed about with the ProRes is that you can't film in it while using cinematic mode, because the cinematic mode is gorgeous and it actually has made a huge improvement on artificially doing the bokeh, isolating your subject from the background and creating that kind of pseudo, it's more of electronic than optical, but that just that bokeh and that blurriness that looks so good. I wish you could do that in ProRes, but you can't. So we're gonna get a few shots that won't be in ProRes for the sake of getting some cool cinematic shots. So we'll see how those turn out.
Trust falls, okay? None of that. And also, my name is not Tube. I'll let you call it Tab. We just met. Okay, what you're gonna do? Turn around. Just gonna put her butt in the hole, just like so. How's the water? No planking. Is that in the hole? Is that in the hole? Oh, how much is the stuck? Okay.
All right, we are tubing.
not cover your face.
My face? Oh, sorry. There's our guy Bear.
You guys. What did you guys eat for breakfast? Coming so fast up in North Carolina.
Are you guys making a movie?
A vlog,
Hi, Mom.
There's my wife. Oh, cool. It opens up.
Sarah, will you marry me?
Lights up. Sarah's got her war paint on now.
And she's got it on her helmet.
And on her helmet.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Can't see your face because you keep holding the camera in front.
Well, I'm filming you.
Well, I'm filming.
There you go. I'm supposed to grab this stick. Here we go. Here we go.
It's fine. All right. Let's see if we can make it down. Yes. Yeah. Keep it.
Actually, only 3 of us need to hold it. We are the damn, instead of damn breakers, we're damn makers. There we go.
Kick push up, guys. Kick push up.
Kick push up. Kick push up. Woo! Yeah! They said don't link up, so I think we're breaking the rules, but that's all right.
We're gonna let go.
I know.
What's up?
I'm ready. What's up? Hey, darling. Good.
Look how beautiful, guys.
So what was my experience like vlogging on just an iPhone? Overall, I would say I enjoyed it. Now, there were a number of moments where I wished I had something that had a larger sensor. I really don't know why companies like Apple haven't tried to put larger sensors in these things, because if they did, these would be absolute industry-changing devices in filmmaking and photography. But in any kind of low light situations, you get a ton of noise. And we do have the means to clean that up. Shout out to Neat Video for their amazing plugin that was able to clean up so much of the noise that was in our shots. And there were especially though times where I wished I had longer lenses, like my 1-500 or even my 70-200. When there were moments like the sea turtles on the beach, I really wished I could have punched in on those incredible creatures. And while you can zoom in on an iPhone, these lenses are not created equal. And while the standard lens is really good quality, both the wide angle, but especially I feel like the zoom lens starts to fall apart. And you can really, when you punch in, you really see the difference. In fact, I would almost say it's not even worth using in most scenarios, unless it's like if you don't punch in, you're gonna miss the shot type of scenario. The Apple log is amazing. It makes a huge difference in the quality of the video and does give it a much more natural look that is far more pleasing to the eye compared to if you were capturing something on a smartphone not using log. I mean, you can see in this comparison that it's just such a different image you get. Without Apple log, it does look over-processed. You're losing a lot of dynamic range. And then with the Apple log, you're seeing a much softer, much more natural look, and you can see so much more. I mean, you can see the people there watching the sunset. You can even see the green very clearly on the grass. It's just a much more pleasing and professional looking image in my opinion. The other thing I really wished I would have got was some kind of underwater housing for the iPhone. So we did actually bring an action camera as a backup. I've read that these are water resistant up to a fairly shallow depth, but I don't really know the validity of those claims that you can take this and shoot underwater and it survived that with no damage at all. I would have been much more comfortable putting the phone in some kind of water housing. There are lots of different people that make those, and I think on a next trip where I am filming with just an iPhone, I would definitely like to buy one of those and bring them with me, rather than falling back on something like an action camera. Now, one major con of using something like the iPhone is that the selfie camera is garbage, and I never bothered using it once in this entire trip. And so it is possible to mount this on something like a GorillaPod, or in my case a SwitchPod, and hold it out in front of you. Even not being able to see yourself, it is pretty easy to keep yourself in frame, especially if you're using the wide-angle lens. And I did that several times. I thought the shot looked really good. And I don't know about you, but when I'm doing vlogging, having the monitor there, I do find myself constantly looking at myself in the monitor and then back to the camera, myself back to the camera. That's why a lot of people wear sunglasses when they're vlogging, I've discovered. So even though you can't see yourself when you're holding it out like this, that wide angle lens is fine. I would have preferred to use the main camera, but in the few instances I did try that, I was cutting my head off. So yes, one of the cons of vlogging with just an iPhone, but still manageable. They did make a massive improvement with switching from the different lenses on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. There were a number of instances when I went from all the different focal lengths, and I was really impressed with just how smooth the transition looked. In quiet scenarios, the audio is quite good, but as I demonstrated in some of the audio tests earlier, if there's any significant background noise, it picks it up. I wouldn't say it does a good job at all at really isolating it. You do need to hold your phone pretty close to you to make sure you're not getting those background sounds. Something like a wireless lav would have been great to have brought in something like this. And if I continued to shoot with an iPhone in vlogging scenarios, I would want to bring some wireless audio as well. So in conclusion, can you vlog using just an iPhone? Yes, absolutely, I think you can. It's convenient and it's kind of fun, and it really lets you be in the moment more compared to if you had a larger mirrorless camera or even a cinema camera for those people who really go all out. In good lighting scenarios, this really can compete with your average mirrorless camera. Now, a professional is going to notice right away, but I guarantee you, your average viewer, they're probably not going to tell much of a difference between something like a mirrorless camera and something like an iPhone 15 Pro Max in the right scenarios. And if you know how to handle the iPhone, you know its limitations and you know its strengths. So it does come down to two big things for me. In terms of quality, yes, of course, a mirrorless camera is going to give you better quality overall, especially if you find yourself in a lot of low light scenarios, which I typically do find myself in those. I would really prefer to have a mirrorless camera with me in those kind of situations. Now, in the next generation of iPhones, if Apple decides to make a larger sensor, then these things would be a tool to be reckoned with. I would absolutely consider bringing exclusively something like a phone on vlogging trips if these had larger sensors. And secondly, again, just comes down to what do you enjoy more? For some people, this is going to be what they enjoy the most. It does make the experience lighter, you're a little bit more free, and you're going to be in the moment enjoying the experience more. But for some people, the experience is getting to capture it on the camera of their choosing. In some scenarios, I want that bigger camera because it's fun to shoot. I love filmmaking. What do you enjoy in the vlogging process? Because sometimes our tools aren't necessarily just to make a better video, they're part of the enjoyment. So you do have to ask yourself, what kind of experience are you hoping to have? That's a question you have to ask yourself. It's a question only you can ultimately answer. Try both and see what you think. Thanks for watching.